Okay, so my name's Carolyn Whitehead, and I run a business called Beautiful New Beginnings, which is a community interest company which supports and empowers parents from pregnancy right the way through to school age with a range of classes and courses. I don't think I think it chose me. I was a primary school teacher for 11 years, and I had two children quite close together, Harry and Jess. They're 16 months apart, and then we had a little surprise called Gracie, who came along when Jess was 5. I was still teaching at the time, and whilst I was on maternity leave, I set up the business almost by accident because a class that I was attending in one of the children's centres stopped. The lady who was running that class retired, and there was nowhere else for the parents in the room to go. So on a bit of a whim, I said that I'd bring some of Gracie's toys down to a community centre if I could find it, and people came along from the very next week. So the business almost started before there was any idea even that I could run a business or what that might look like. Tons. I was a primary school teacher, like I say, and so I had no knowledge of business or the skills that I would need in order to be able to run a business. So that was really challenging. And although the business naturally evolved in terms of the classes and courses that we then went on to offer, what needed to evolve massively more was my skills. And for about 2 years I didn't really feel like I was a businesswoman. I felt like I was a teacher trying to support and empower parents however best I knew. But in order to get those parents along to sessions, I also needed to have a really strong knowledge of social media. I needed to learn how to build a website, and anyone who's ever set up anything from scratch knows that those skills don't happen overnight. And I suppose the biggest barrier was myself, because I used to become really frustrated at the fact that these big businesses had a marketing department and a social media department and people who were really well qualified in those areas. My skill is in being in class with parents and passing on that educational knowledge to parents, not in website development or SEO or marketing or strategy or business. And so the frustration, I suppose, was on my part, in that I needed to learn those skills really quickly in order to get people through the door to the classes that I was really good at running. So the biggest barrier was in my skills and in how quickly I had to learn those skills in order to be able to run an effective business. So initially I came along probably about 6 months into running some of the stay and play sessions, with the idea then that I could bridge the gap that I'd seen when I was teaching between parents and professionals. Because what I think happens a lot of the time is that parents are not knowledgeable in these parenting skills that they need. And I remember feeling it myself, and every parent that I've ever spoken to, you carry that baby home in a car seat and you put the car seat down, you think, oh my goodness, what happens when this baby wakes up now? And we talk all the time about there not being a parenting manual, and it's so right, there isn't one. But there are things that we can learn as parents, and there is a community that we can build for parents where they feel supported to say, oh God, this is awful, or am I doing this right, or what does this look like? And we need to bridge that gap between parents and professionals. But the only way that I believe we can do that effectively is by building really strong relationships. The support that I received from the Enterprise Hub was to write a business plan initially, and to look at the marketing strategy, to look at customer persona, to look at things from a business perspective, which I wasn't doing at the time. So a lovely lady called Francine helped me write that business plan. I went through about 6 months worth of sessions. I then attended some sessions on social media and marketing that were run for free. And as a small business, I couldn't have afforded to have paid for those sessions at the time. I'd come out of teaching by this point, lost me 35,000 a year salary. So we really were, living life by the seat of our pants, which wasn't enjoyable for a long time. But the support that we had for free was invaluable to me as a business owner. A couple of years later, so I started the business in 2016, and then a couple of years later we actually transformed the business into a community interest company, because everything that we were doing through the company and what we were hoping to do was meeting that social enterprise value of, profit for purpose. So we ended up using, again, support from the Enterprise Hub to set up as a community interest company, and they really, really supported with the documents that we needed, the memorandums that we needed, and looking at the business and how we could evolve in that sense, which again has been invaluable, because that was a real pivotal moment in our growth. Really well. So we are now 5 years in, coming up for 6 years, which if you'd have told me at the beginning that we'd be here still, I probably would have questioned it myself. For the first 2 years, I suppose I looked back on my teaching career with those rose tinted glasses and oh God, I've given up a pension and a career and this regular wage to go and now run something for myself. But during lockdown, we've supported an incredible number of parents. I think we're touching 30,000 parents during lockdown. At the height of lockdown, we had 500 parents morning and afternoon joining in with online sessions via Zoom, which was just incredible. We couldn't have imagined the growth that we've experienced. We have sessions now that support people not only from pregnancy to school age in the early years, but sessions which support right the way through to teenagers. We have a wellbeing programme that are run by counsellors and offering that wellbeing support that's so desperately needed, not only in our city, but I think across England. And the online service and the fact that we were forced online through COVID has only really been our biggest blessing, because we've been able to reach so many more parents. Parents have been able to access sessions when they weren't able to from other areas as well. So we've grown from what was a small local business offering face-to-face classes to now reaching people from Dubai and New York. Like it has really been an incredible year for us. Face-to-face classes are back up and running as well, so we're just trying to work out now this blended offer of how we remain online for those parents that need online sessions and to access that demographic, and then those sessions that can be running back face-to-face as well, and how we expand on those services. So there's really exciting times ahead, and some great classes coming really, really soon, both online and face-to-face. I suppose the best piece of knowledge that I ever heard was from Dragon's Den, and it was Deborah Meaden, and she said the biggest blessing that she ever had in her business was to have had no money as a startup, because she needed to learn all the skills to run a business, so that she could then pass on those skills or that understanding of what she wanted from her business to other people. And that really changed my mindset from being frustrated with the lack of funds to be able to run this effective business, to thinking, at any point I can step into any part of my business and run that really well, and understand how to pass that knowledge on to somebody else, and also how to really understand what I want from social media or from marketing or from strategy. So that was really helpful. And I think the other biggest thing will be to grow a network of people. The network of people that I've got around us now, not only from meeting people through the women's organisation, but from meeting other business owners, has been incredible and invaluable. You learn so much from other people. They've been there before. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's that going back to the classroom again of, if you don't understand something, find someone who can help you, because there's so many willing people and organisations out there who will be able to support you in that journey. You're not on your own, even though being a business owner sometimes can feel a little bit lonely. Surround yourself with good people and a good network of knowledgeable people, and you won't go far wrong.